We are live and welcome to Better
Hey,
Call Saul Season 6 Rewatch. We are finally back.
yes,
Uh,
yes,
we're doing episode 4, Hit and Run. Is that correct, Jay?
that is correct, Richard. Hit and run. We finally gonna get to watch, rewatch, hit and run.
Okay, and this is an very another tight episode, and it really, oh my gosh, we are really going to get into it here. So, so before we get into this, Jay,
hmm
how did you feel about this episode overall?
Overall, it was as the title portrays itself. It was really fast and quick on different things that's going to be happening with all the different characters that we witness in the show, from Saul's character, Kim's character, to actually Gus's character a little bit. Uh, it was very fast paced and a lot of like surprising people that we haven't seen in a couple of episodes pop up in this episode here was really cool too. So
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I
very.
enjoyed watching it again.
I agree with you, Jay. And there's also, I mean, just a little teaser here. There's a couple
hmm
firsts in this
Yeah.
episode that will that are uh, well, be from a lot of firsts that kind of go into Breaking Bad. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
but
Exactly.
we'll get to that later. But like what we're going to tease all the fans out there that you gotta wait around because I don't know if you caught the one, but we know there's a few in here.
hmm
So Jay,
Exactly.
how does this episode start out, man? You have the notes.
Yeah. It's I guess there's a terminology. I guess they call it a cold play or something like that. It's kind of showing before they do the title uh, scene is where we see two look like married couples riding their bicycle in a nice, comfortable neighborhood, and just with the music playing in the background, just having a good old time. And then they kind of stop over to a home on their way to going home. They saw a house that looked not that the color was not pleasing to the woman or the married couple. It's like this really
Oh
typical
yeah. Oh well.
red
Well, that
tomato
wasn't
color.
that wasn't pleasing to me either.
hmm No,
It
it was
kind
a
of stood
terrible
out
color.
in this I don't know. Maybe I guess back maybe I don't know. You want to go there with like a upper middle class neighborhood with
hmm
so probably mostly white. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, yeah, just riding around with their bicycles and everything, and seeing neighbors waving at them. Dog in the front, uh, things like that. Dogs in the front of the yard. You see people watering their lawn, things like that. That type of neighborhood, and
I guess you would call it a Norman. I guess back. I guess you don't. I don't know if the term's still good now, but a Norman Rockwell existence,
yes,
or at
yeah,
least
I
kind of
agree.
neighborhood. Yeah.
hmm hmm Then they finally go into their home and go into their garage, and they just chat away, and then we kind of see something that was kind of odd to me as far as seeing this Coldplay at the start of the show is they're talking, and then we see this guy in the kitchen all wearing all black and just looks like he has a gun on the side of his pants just sitting. And then we see another person in another room with a whole bunch of surveillance cameras and everything. And so I was wondering what is going on. Did you feel that way to yourself, Richard, when you saw that?
Well, yeah, they walk in, and you didn't know if at first you're thinking, "Oh my, are they there to kill the couple that walked in?" You know,
Yeah, that's true.
because you're wondering, okay, you get because it's one of those things where you see the Norman Rockwell thing, and then it turns into a horror story. One of those transitions. You know what I mean, there, Jay? I don't know if you've ever
Yeah,
seen anything like that, but I've seen horror films where you start out with, oh, it's idyllic and all this kind of crap, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom.
exactly.
You have mass murder, or and it's like, holy crap, what the hell just happened? And you're like
Exactly.
shocked for then the whole film or show got you. But then going to the surveillance equipment, you're like, okay, now what is really going on? Because it seems like
Mm-hmm.
this is a whole different. So then you're thinking, is this one of these law enforcement things, where they FBI setting up doing surveillance or something, and
Exactly.
you're still not quite knowing what's going on because there it
No.
is, this big embankment of video equipment, and then you're like, okay, is this some kind of spy thing? FBI, Jason Bourne? I don't know. You're still
Right.
kind of confused,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so whoa. Anyway, Jay, I mean, then what? I mean, take us through it,
Mm-hmm.
dude. You're on the roll.
Yeah. From that perspective, I mean, one of the guys asked for some tea, and then he said, "Okay, I'll give
Yeah,
you some tea."
actually asked for tea.
Yeah.
What is this, some
It's
kind
like
of British show? Did it
exactly.
MI6? What the hell?
Right. Exactly. But then the money shot pretty much came into play when they went and showed the surveillance camera and zoomed in to the center of the surveillance camera with all different other ones with the houses. But the main house, which in the perspective of people that are familiar with Breaking Bad, if they once saw that, they zoom in, and that is Gus's Fring's front door. And it's like, okay, now we get an idea that what's happening is that they're doing surveillance of Gopher Springs neighborhood to make sure that anyone that comes around that neighborhood, Gus is pretty much protected, and the fear of Lalo is in place. And that's what we kind of got with the co-play of this episode of Hit and Run. And then they start with this famous intro music for the show. So that's kind of the gist of the start of it, which was really interesting. It's like these co-plays that comes into play is interesting because you don't know. Sometimes you just don't know what the heck they're doing.
Yeah.
But at least this one, I had an idea, and I'm not sure when you first saw it. Did that come into your thought process, Richard, when you first saw it?
Well, I didn't know if they were who was spying on Gus, because there it is,
Yeah,
there's the
yeah.
door, and then you're thinking, okay, are they the enemy or is it the? I mean, at this point in time, you don't think it's law enforcement because they don't know anything about Gus. So you're
Right.
thinking, is this the cartel? Because you don't know
Yeah.
who's watching that front door at this point,
It's
right?
true. That's
You
right.
know,
We
all
don't.
you
We
know
really
is
don't.
they're having tea and relaxing, but watching Gus's front door.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the point of the whole thing, is to make you wonder what is going on, so you want to continue watching after the quick intro or maybe a commercial break. But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
since I'm watching it on Netflix, there is no commercial break. So I mean,
Right.
but then when it first aired on AMC, I'm sure there is. Well, they have commercials, so I mean, you have to wonder about that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
when you watch a show like this, you're like, but when you're watching on Netflix, it's just boom, boom, boom. Well, I mean, like you're just watching it, and there's no commercial break, but you still get that.
Exactly.
You still know there's a fade out. And there's supposed to be a commercial,
Mm-hmm.
but still you're
Yeah.
back in 15. You're back in 5 seconds anyway. And I having to watch somebody try to sell us Ajax or whatever the hell they were.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway,
Exactly.
yeah, you're right. But even though you don't have a commercial or anything, you're still hooked because okay, let's keep going. Let's go. Let's see why are
Mm-hmm.
they watching Gus's front door? I mean, because we know people are after Gus.
Yes.
Besides Lalo, I mean, there are,
Mm-hmm.
we know there are, the cartel doesn't trust him, really.
No, they don't.
So,
The Chicken Man is still
yeah,
under their radar.
well, Chicken Man's always under the radar, but still, we know that he's been doing some shenanigans and he's got things underway that the cartel is trying to figure out what the hell is he doing. But
Exactly.
the Chicken Man, the Chicken Man has always had a target on his back, and we know how that all. But anyway, so that's it. I mean, a Coldplay or a tease,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it's called. I mean, it's supposed to get your interest, so you want to continue to watch the episode. I mean, that's what it is. Coldplay, teaser, whatever it's called. It's just supposed to grip you and make you want to keep watching, so you don't switch that channel,
Yeah, we
or
don't want that.
or go or back out of Netflix and go watch some other porn anime they might be showing, but you know,
Right.
I don't know. I don't have porn anime. I don't even. I'm not a. I don't watch a lot of hardly any anime on Netflix. I watch mostly. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, me too. Me
We're
too.
getting off track here. So after we come back from the Coldplay, Jay, what happens?
Right when that comes, then we get into the mark, which is the main key of this whole, or at least part of this last season, the mark of Howard. And looks like the plan of action, which looks like there was a sticker that was portrayed on their plan. The little plan that they have is called Namaste. And this is like the plan that was going to play, where we saw Howard with his music playing, nice jazz music, going to his therapy session that he was scheduled to go and kind of get therapy for himself and kind of talk to the therapist and give his perspective of how life is. And it one thing I do enjoy with this first part is getting to know Howard a little bit more, because in the other seasons we do get a different perspective of Howard as the lawyer, and kind of doesn't really like Saul or not Saul, but his other names and everything. And Kim was involved and things like that. So it's really good to see a different perspective of him, at least when he went to the therapist to see about his marriage and his life. So how did you feel about it when you saw that?
Well, you know, it was surprising because I didn't think Howard would be in therapy. But then once you think about, well, he is going through family issues with his wife, even though we know that he's trying to, you know, be nice to his wife and try to get this thing going. She's just cold to everything he tries to do. And,
Yes.
you know, and I guess part of it is that you're kind of, it's supposed to make you feel for the guy too. I mean, we know that Saul's doing all this crap to him, but then we got to see the other side of this man, knowing that, okay, this dude, you know, his family, his wife and family are kind of falling apart around him, and he's doing everything he thinks possible to keep it going.
Right.
And now we see in the counselor to help him work through it, or even get more help to help with the marriage. We don't know why he's there. I mean, he's there. So I hope it makes you so, you know, even though he may, I never got the point. I mean, he always seemed confident to me, the way he talked and stuff to clients and stuff. I mean, he always seemed like he was always confident, you know.
Yes.
He may come across sometimes as arrogant or whatever, but that's the mark of a confident man, and someone, you've got to have that in a lawyer. You don't want some weak guy.
No, you have to have that confidence.
Even Better Call Saul comes across like an asshole, but yet he's a good criminal. I mean, he may end stuff, but still he's a good lawyer. I can't say he's a good lawyer, but I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, he's able to get the clients to come to him, right? I mean, he gains the confidence of some clients, and he may do some shenanigans, and maybe some don't know what he's doing, but you got it. But anyway, Howard's a big power lawyer. I mean, he's not like, you know, he's ahead of a big firm, right?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, his name is on the door, so he has a lot of pressure on him to make sure that. So he's got to bring in big money. I mean, he's not. I mean, Saul just has to bring in enough to pay his rent and whatever, and make him comfortable. Where Howard is in charge of how many employees, we don't know, but we know it's probably close to 100, maybe 50. I mean, you know, with all the associates and secretaries, maybe not close to 100, but still, it's a big firm.
Yeah,
and
huge firm that has a lot of clients.
And look at the building. And I don't know if they own it or whatever. There's still a mortgage or rent to pay on this huge thing, which has to be in the but anyway, he has a lot of responsibility. So he has this responsibility of getting the clients in, plus his family issues. So right there tells you that, you know, this is as we've gone on with the series, we know that there's more to this man than just him, you know, being hard on Saul and maybe rubbing Saul and Kim the wrong way. We know that there's things going on with this man. And I think in his own mind, even though how he treats Kim, he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yes, always. He always thinks that he always feels the best for people, and that's how it goes across sometimes.
Yeah, even though it may not, it may rub the wrong way. He in his mind he thinks that he's trying to help these people. I don't think he's intentionally being uh, rubbing these people the wrong way or being mean. He's trying. And but
Hmm.
anyway, and but anyway, that was a good. I like that was a good backstory of Howard there. But then we also
Yes.
know it's also going to be a way to distract him from something else there, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh! Then everything changes here when we. Well, the thing is, before he's walking in and we see Saul walking around the corner. It's like a way that was timed for that scene because he was
Yes.
walking into the building. Here comes Saul. I mean, it reminded you of like a perfect espionage movie where the target goes in. Here comes James Bond around the corner. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and what got me so much was just how good Saul was with the looking of Howard with his hair and his tan. I mean, it was so funny to see him walk towards the car
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he was
and
getting
the
ready to
suit
switch over the car.
and the suit. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, even the suit. Yeah, he even had the suit. He had the
He
walk and
was
everything.
he wasn't wearing one of his one of his whatever clown
No.
suits, but yeah,
No, he looked almost a resemblance a little bit of Howard. I know, of course, he Saul is good with those little images of trying to
yeah.
despise people's angles and everything. You don't need to be like exactly like the person, but you need to
Or
be close to it.
just so at a distance you look like him.
Exactly,
I mean,
and he did really good.
it's just like when you're watching a film, just enough that where the stunt double looks like from behind, where you don't really you get a quick cut, but you think it's the actor, but you can't tell the difference between stunt
Exactly.
double. So I mean, remember, he's not going to be doing a close up as Howard
No,
anyway. I mean, he just
no, that
has
was not the plan.
that's not the plan. He just has to look the part from behind. That's all
Hmm.
that's all he needs to look like. But anyway,
Exactly.
he's there to do some shenanigans. He's there for a car, isn't he?
Yeah, that Namaste car, which we saw that little rinky dink remote control that one of our buddies got and made for him, and he used it and it worked. I mean, I don't know how it did, but it worked. He pushed the button and it opened, and he got in the car and pulled off and actually put a little cone in front of the area for the so no
Yeah,
one can park there. So when he comes back, he
that
can
was a
take
nice
that spot.
touch by Saul. I mean, I kind of surprised me that Saul went to that much detail to think, okay, I'm going to put a cone here so
Hmm.
no one parks here. I mean,
Exactly.
because usually when you like, well, if I don't know about you, but when I see a cone, okay, don't park there or
Yeah.
don't go toward the cone. I mean, the cone means
Hmm.
something.
Yeah.
But,
Some type
but
of
I guess
construction or something that
yeah. But
is
anyway,
not a good spot.
but that was So anyway, that was a nice touch by Saul to think about
Mhm.
putting to block that parking space. Which, in a way, I guess if you were thinking about doing that, you would have to make sure no one parks in your spot because you don't want Howard coming up saying, "Where'd my car go?"
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. We don't want to see that famous movie, Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, where's my car? Yeah,
We don't want him to say that when he comes
yeah.
out and say,
Dude,
Dude,
where's
where's
my
my car? I don't
where's
know.
yeah, dude, where's my car? So
Uh,
yeah. So we know that
yeah.
he's off and running. So
Yeah.
then
So
but anyway, so then we have a cut to another scene, don't we, Jay?
exactly. Yes. Then we go into Kimmy with her nervous little twitch that she has when things are a little nervous. She gets a little nervous time with her foot, but she was getting ready to meet Clifford Maine at a restaurant
Yep.
just to talk and give their insight on things and life and what Kim wants to do and everything. And that's where the scene we saw going into play with that, and I believe from there, I think there we go into another scene, which was pretty cool. And this is why I was mentioning before that we finally, not finally, but we saw a character that was it's been very important with the Breaking Bad and also with Better Call Saul. Character is Wendy. seeing Wendy again, where Wendy came into play, where Saul drove up to her and tried to get her to come in the car, and she was just taking her sweet time to get in, and Saul was like, hurry up, hurry up. And the most popular thing that she loves to do and loves to drink is root beer.
Yeah, that's her.
That was so funny. That's her thing.
I don't know whose idea that was, if that was hers or the writers said, because that's yeah, you're right, because that's what makes I mean, even though it adds to a character. I got it. Where's my root beer? I want my root beer. Yeah.
I got my quarter. I got to get my quarter in there. It's like he was like, I don't care.
It makes you wonder if you can get a blowjob for a case of root beer. I
know. She had to have that. It was just so important for her every time, even though she was doing her business. I mean, she was she was on duty.
Even though she was a character in the show, she had a big impact in the show. I mean, everybody. I think she was a favorite, and I think fans were probably happy to see Wendy because she is. I think she was a fan favorite. I mean, she's one of my favorite characters to watch. Even even though she didn't have a big role, but still she pulled. I mean, that actress pulled off that character so well. I mean,
so well. I agree.
Let's give this. I wish I knew her name, but she.
Yeah, I don't have her name on my sheet, but
she kicked butt doing that character. You know what I'm talking about? And the way they gave her, fixed her up with the makeup and stuff. Oh my God! Think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, they made her look like they gave her the meth mouth and everything else.
Yep, and it's one cool thing about it is like the perspective of this right here was before Breaking Bad, but because Breaking Bad was before Better Call Saul, you gotta just have to use your imagination a little bit on some of these characters, and that's one thing we gotta kind of understand on the look. But they did the perfect look. I mean, the look that she had there was the exact same looks that she had when she was in Breaking Bad in some of those important scenes that she was in on the other show.
Yeah, okay. She was played by Julia Meninsky.
Oh, very good. Very good.
So that's who played her. And so yeah. And anyway, that's who played her.
And, exactly.
So anyway, she's taking her time because we all know what she wants. She needs that.
And
so
she needs to. She gets in that car.
Yeah. So there's a picture of her without all the being done up. So there she is. There's the actress there.
Wendy. Hi, Wendy.
So yeah, and SE40, she gets all made up by the makeup crew and all that stuff, and those who provide the outfits and stuff, and give her the root beer. So there we go. But yeah, she did that character very well. She needs her props. So anyway, she finally gets the root beer and gets in the car.
Yep, and they drive off, and Saul, as always, is nervous at the click, just really, really nervous and making sure that he's where he needs to be right on time. And he got there, and he was just waiting, put the cell phone up, and just waiting for Kim to give the green light to do the next step of their plan to mark Howard. So I think from there they go back to Cliff.
And Clifford, we gotta understand, is played by Ed Begley Jr. And I always I like him as an actor. I know. I've seen. I didn't watch a lot of ER, but I did like his.
I did too.
ER. I wasn't I was a big fan where I watched every episode, but you know what ER was, because it was huge back in the day.
It was one of my favorite shows with George Clooney,
and way before streaming. So you'd catch it, and but still, I've liked most. But I've seen him show up, and right now, and I enjoy his acting. I think he's a very good actor. But anyway, we go to Kimmy, played by RHEA SEEHORN, And also, just
Mm-hmm.
to let you know, she directed this episode.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did
Okay.
direct this, and so
Very nice.
it's always interesting uh, when because it always this usually because sometimes this happens where if a show lasts long enough seasons, some actors will start getting
Mm-hmm.
interested in directing, and they'll direct
Yes.
episodes there, and then hopefully it moves on to other things so they can keep working doing directing in between acting assignments too.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I
So
mean,
I mean,
great
you
news.
know,
I didn't know that. She did
I
great.
mean, like Next Generation, Jonathan Frakes started directing some Next Gen, and now he directs other shows too. Every once in a while, you'll
Ah,
see his name show up.
okay.
And Supernatural, Jensen Ackles started directing some of those
Mm.
episodes. I don't know if he directs any other things, but I know that he probably did some Winchesters too before that got canceled. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Sometimes that
Mm.
happens. If a show goes long enough and they get interested in directing, then they follow directors probably around taking notes, and then they get their shot because they figure, well, look, I'm part of the show. I'm also now an executive producer because if it goes long enough, they'll get that credit.
Right.
And
Right.
if they're interested, it just depends. I mean, plus, if they like directing, well, then that also keeps them busy between acting gigs if they can't get one. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just another tool in their toolbox, as they would say. GA.
Exactly. Exactly. And I agree. That's very, very good. Very cool to know and everything. She did an amazing job
But
with
some
this
like you,
show episode.
where you're just an engineer. You can't do anything else to be an engineer. I don't
I
think.
know. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm doing a little bit now. I mean, I'm going through this right here with you and everything. This is kind of out of my realm of engineering perspective of things. So I'm thankful to at least do something a little different. I mean, this is like with
Oh,
Kimmy, our
yeah.
character direct. I'm doing a podcast. I was not thinking a million years. I'm literally doing a podcast with a good friend of mine. So
Well, I
this is cool.
appreciate you being here. I mean,
Me too.
and and plus it's also making you a little bit more technical savvy.
Yes, yes,
I mean,
exactly.
I know if I wanted you to do something engineering wise, fine. But if I want you to fix your Wi-Fi, well, then you need some. You might be, oh, what the hell am I?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the same way. I can't really say that I'm the expert, but yeah, it does. But anyway, the thing
Hmm.
is we got to get Kimmy and Cliff are talking, and the thing is, Kimmy's just there to distract, to bring Cliff into to be there. That's all her job is to be
Yes.
there. And she comes and she's talking about what is she talking? I can't remember what she's talking about. What why he's there, and
They were
because
doing some business. I mean, it was more business related, but one key thing that I mean, I think made Kimmy think a little bit and our conscience came into play a little bit when they were talking is when Clifford mentioned about his son and how his son was going into situation with drugs and things of that nature and problems with the connection with Clifford's character and his son when it came to the drugs. And Clifford Maine was just kind of was was sad and bummed out of his son going in that direction. And I think Kimmy kind of had like a second of thinking like, wow, I mean, I'm so sad to hear that because even though you're doing this mark and you're trying to get Howard uh, in trouble and Clifford can kind of see what's going on, Kimmy kind of had that second. It's like, I mean,
yeah,
wow.
well, but it wasn't just that because what they were discussing, Clifford says, "I can help you," and that caught her really off guard because she was just there
Oh,
making an
yes, right.
excuse. I think it was some kind of benefit or some kind of business plan like you were talking about. And she goes, well, I know people. It's like, and I think that caught her off guard too. Was like, okay, wait a minute. This is going unexpectedly because I'm just here talking bullshit. And all of a sudden it's going to be, he's going to help me make it a reality. And
Right, yeah.
I mean, that shows that Clifford, besides being and also another big lawyer guy, probably likes Kimmy and will help people too if he can.
Yes. Yes,
So,
definitely.
I mean, it's not like Clifford's going to get busted or get. I mean, any kind of big trouble. It's just like he's just there to witness something. I mean, that's not like he's the mark. I mean, he's not the mark. He's just there to witness something. He's supposed to be there to help get Howard and see Howard do something bad again, like when he was there at the
Mm-hmm.
country club
Yep,
when they
with the
found
little
drugs by his
drugs
locker. I mean, but
and the
still,
hookers.
he's not. He's just there. He's just sitting there, and things are going. Things are happening that Kimmy didn't expect to happen. So,
Correct.
but
Yep.
finally, she puts the signal on the cell phone, and here comes Saul in the
Yep. Here
car.
comes Saul. Yep. He was driving like a madman and skirted it with the Namaste logo on the back of his car, and then all of a sudden pushed out Wendy out the car and drove off. And Wendy was just did her role of portraying of a hooker getting dumped in the street and just thrown out. And supposedly, and Clifford's like, is that Howard? And
Yeah,
Kimmy's perfect. I mean, she had that perfect poker face, but in the back of you could see her face like, yeah, we got him. we
yeah.
got Clifford
Yeah,
thinking that was
She did.
Howard.
Kimmy did not confirm nor deny. That was the big thing. She didn't confirm nor deny.
No,
So,
no,
she didn't push it. She was like,
no,
oh
no,
yeah, that's Howard. I mean, really going crazy. I mean,
no,
just
no.
like you said, the poker face.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things. Like working in the office like that, you neither confirm nor deny when shit hits the fan. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
at least I hope. But anyway, I don't know how you are, but usually if you pick up little things in the office where I better keep my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
that's true.
but still, you're right. I mean, that poor girl. I mean, things that besides being a prostitute, she has to pull off these roles. Look. I mean, everybody's watched Breaking Bad. Let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
When she has to make that cover story for Jesse when they were, after they got back in season 2, right? When she was
Correct.
sitting there and everybody was, and she was being questioned
Hank.
by Hank, and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Where's my root beer? Where?"
Yep.
And she, and she wasn't she didn't break.
Nope.
I
She
mean, it
kept
doesn't
her.
matter.
She
It doesn't
kept her
matter.
thing.
Yeah, she may have been a meth head prostitute, but she held her ground, and plus it helped when because Hank was met her before when he was trying to. He thought that Howard, Howard, not Howard,
Mm.
the son of
Oh yes, yes. With I know what you're talking about.
oh my
His
gosh. Well, anyway, Walt Jr.
mhm.
or
Yes, Walt Jr.
or whatever Flex or
Oh yeah, Flynn,
Glenn when
Flynn.
they thought he was doing marijuana and they drove up and and
Hmm.
and she's like but anyway then she was able to go, hey, weren't you
Yeah,
with the quarterback? And
exactly.
he had to back off really fast
He did. I
because he was
remember that.
underage and but anyway she had, I mean,
She
besides
was an
doing that,
important character.
yeah, and I mean, and oh my gosh, there were a lot of things. But anyway,
She
we're
did.
getting off track. But I'm just saying this, she had to be a good actress too. I mean, you know what I mean, a prostitute that could actually hold her ground and play a role besides. So I don't know. But anyway, all we know is
Hmm.
that it doesn't matter. She likes root beer, and and she has to do what she has to do, I guess, to keep her meth habit going. That's all.
Yep.
you know,
Yep. And
sometimes
it helped Kim and
yeah.
Saul do
I
what
mean,
they need to do.
I know we find her kind of humorous, but it's also a sad situation that this character's in too. Having the meth habit
Yeah, the addiction.
and
Yeah.
having to and having to sell her body to
Hmm.
pay for this habit. I mean, it's a but but anyway, Cliff sees this, and it's no mistake. I mean, he sees this is the third time, right, that he's seeing Howard in some kind of bad light with the prostitutes in the restaurant,
Yes.
Drugs in the country,
Drugs.
as far as I can tell. And now this. That's 3,
And now
right?
this.
I mean, that's
Yep,
third.
that's 3.
Third time.
Yep.
So Saul is, Saul is putting the hammer down. Well, actually, Kim, as we talked before, Kim kind of wanted to keep going. And now maybe Kim is finally, like you were saying earlier, maybe now Kim is like thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe we're just going a little too far. I mean, getting people involved that are going through shit too. You know, she's realizing. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's done.
Right.
Wendy's out. Hey, you whatever. You
throws his shoe.
Throws a shoe. I mean, she sells it very bad. And and why anyone would throw her out in this part of town, who knows? I don't know what part of town it is. I haven't been to Albuquerque, so I have no clue.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't know. You know,
it could be. You never know. It's true.
I mean, but you're thinking that if lawyers are hanging out, it's not a. Well, who knows? I hope prostitutes don't hang around all over the city. But I'm sure, like any big city, there is that kind of activity going on, which is, it doesn't matter. It's witnessed once again by Clifford.
And exactly.
And once again, Ed Begley Jr. does, he's playing his character very, he's doing a good job too. Well, he's a seasoned veteran, let's face it. And when you're doing a weekly TV show, like he was in ER, you're gonna get your chops done. And so, right now he's mostly a character actor, but when he does a character, he sells it. So
he does. He did very well.
He is not. Well, that's the thing about any of these shows done by like Breaking Bad and this. They can find these great actors to play these characters.
I agree.
That is so important to keep a show going. And also to write characters very well and make you interesting. Yes. I mean, like Wendy doing her part, being written like she was, giving her the foible of root beer,
those
every character,
little tips.
Because everybody has their quirks. I mean, like yours is probably building bridges, like little models of bridges and stuff, and designing your own bridges. Well, whatever you do, you probably have a hobby that you do and something that you eat, or maybe your favorite food. Who knows? Something you have to have as a snack while you're at work. Like, well, I got to have my Fritos or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep, I do.
Or I have to have my brain food. You call it your brain food, even though it's junk food. Or I don't know what you have. But like me, I have to have my Diet Coke. Okay, I'll tell you mine. I need my diet. I mean, I drink too much. It's probably going to kill me because, it's not the healthiest thing to have with all that stuff. But that's something that I have that right now. I have my thing, but that's me. That's my foible. Instead of root beer, it's Diet Coke. I got to have my Diet Coke. So if I was in Wendy's place with Hank, hey, where's my Diet Coke? Hey,
that's what you need. That was your thing.
You want me to talk? I need my brain drink here, bitch. It's probably more of caffeine than anything else, but still. So that's mine. I'll tell you mine right now. Okay, I'll be honest. I shouldn't pick on you. I don't know what yours is, but mine is Diet Coke. So anyway,
gotcha.
So I mean, if we would ever hang out, I would need my Diet Coke, Jay. I mean, I couldn't hang out with you without my Diet Coke.
All right, I'm going to remember that. For sure.
But I'm not. But I'm not going to give you a blowjob for a case of Diet Coke. I won't.
No.
But if you ever meet Wendy, to bring your
get the root beer.
Root beer. But I don't think you. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're getting off track and I'm getting stupid. So I'm sorry about that, Jay.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Bad spot.
We're having a good time.
So anyway, it's sold. Okay, Cliff sees it. We're moving on. But now,
oh boy, this was funny.
This is excellent. I mean, there's always, no matter how well you
it's perfect Saul. It's perfect Saul.
No matter how well you plan, something always goes wrong.
Always something goes wrong.
So what happens here, dude? What's next? Because Saul is pulling back into the drive-in, expecting just to pull the car in and get the fuck out. Right?
That's exactly. Yep. Had his music, has Howard's music on and everything, and just playing that music. Even though he doesn't like it, but he's so happy, he doesn't even care about the music now. He's just overjoyed. And then all of a sudden, like you said, all of a sudden he looks and sees that the cone has been moved and a car is in that spot where Howard's car was.
Yeah.
He's like, the perfect phrase that Saul said, who moves a freaking cone?
Yeah. Who moves a cone?
Cone. Who moves a cone? He was like, you just banging on the steering wheel. It's like, no, what to do. And he had to think as quickly as he could because Howard's therapy session was in ready to end. It was almost there, and he's like, okay, I gotta pull right beside it and see what I can do. And
well, he has to pull into the yellow zone where the
that's what gets me. Yeah, he pulled right beside the car, yellow zone where.
So he says, like, who parks in the cone? But they're like, who parks in the yellow stripe?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
The reason that's there. I mean, people do. Let's face it. I mean, but still, it's really weird that he's trying to. But anyway, he pulls into the right beside the car where
he's supposed to be. Yeah.
But still, not only. But it's not just the cone, and it's not just the yellow part. He has to do something else to sell the parking space, doesn't he, Jay?
Oh my God! Yes, it was so funny.
This is it, because where there was that sign,
patients only
sign.
That
was in Howard's parking space, and just to make sure that he sold it. Because I mean, really, I mean, I guess you can try to think, okay, maybe Howard doesn't pay attention to the sign and wouldn't care when he walked out, but still, you don't want to take that chance. So I don't even know if you could do this by hand, but somehow Saul does pull this sign.
He does, yeah, he does. He almost did like a Hulk move. He was just like a Hulk move on moving it side to side, pulling and yanking and yanking and yanking and yanking, and finally got it out. I don't know how he did.
Yeah, and it's and luckily no one saw him do it.
Right, there was no other patients or all the other patients were inside.
Yeah, if you see, because the first thing you'll think is, why is he going to steal that sign? Is he going to hang it up in his, like one of those decorative signs in someone's man cave? But anyway, this must be a very slow day at that building, because no one sees him yanking this sign back and forth.
Nobody.
He's just, and plus this is Saul. It's not like he works out at a gym. And so I'm going to say it's not going to be easy to pull out a sign that's probably
stuck in that dirt. I mean, it was like,
it has to be stuck in there. I don't know, more than feet in the ground. I mean, it's not just 1 foot in there. It has to be in there about 3 or 4 feet to give it stability. And but anyway, he pulls it out.
Yep, he pulls it. Yep.
And then, but the hardest part is not just pulling it out there after he wiggles it around there. He has to put it, he has to move it and stick it back in the ground in front of the car without it falling over all of, So
right, exactly.
He's like, he's trying to put this thing. And I'm going to tell you that dirt can't be that soft either.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
And plus you don't have a pole digger, one of those, boom, one of those. I can't imagine that, because if you ever put fence posts in the ground, there's no way you're going to be able to yank. If you can just put it in, anyways, it's impossible.
Yeah,
you would have to be the Hulk to do that shit.
But
anyway, he finally gets it in there, and just in time too. Once again,
just in time. Woo!
Another, because Howard's walking out and he's leaving. Once
Yep.
again, it's perfectly timed. He's going around. Here comes Howard, and it's good symmetry, and that whole scenes, that whole part of the show where we got but anyway, exit and entrance of Saul and Howard are perfectly done.
Yep, I don't know how he did it, but luckily Howard didn't pay attention.
Directing and good. And probably, good directing, and people saying action, now walk, and whatever, doesn't matter. It was pulled off. It was pulled off perfectly. And
it was.
And plus you got to remember, I don't know how. If RHEA was part of that, it's excellent. Just think. She's the director. She has to get
right.
That's her. Okay. That's her pulling this off. And
yep.
Whatever kind of notes and whatever things she was. planning before this episode, because I mean, these directors have to work on these things. I don't know how you know what I mean. They get the script and have to pull it apart and shit. But anyway,
yeah, they do.
This was excellent thing that RHEA was able to do. I mean, you know what I mean. And but any director, not just her. I mean, But anyway,
it was perfect timing. You're right.
But I guess the funny thing is Howard gets in the car. He doesn't even pay attention to the sign as usual. I mean, why would he? I mean, he's a lawyer and he just got, but you never know. You've got to sell it. And I guess the thing is, he doesn't remember. He doesn't even know that his car moved over one space and he's in the yellow zone.
Remember. Nope, he doesn't remember at all.
I mean, because I would remember if I parked in the between the two white stripes or the yellow zone, I would know where I was. But he's just looking at his keys, and he's a busy man. He doesn't have time to worry about where the hell what the ground. And again, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he pulls out, and as he leaves, the sign falls over. That was perfect. I mean,
that was perfect. Yeah.
And who cares? After that, the sign falls over. Who cares? But it was there long enough. So it worked.
Very, very funny. It was very comical.
Yeah, this whole part of comedy of errors or whatever works out like as usual for Saul. But yeah, we have the comedy thing, but it's also suspenseful. It's a suspenseful comedy thing because we're like, oh my gosh, you gotta get that thing in the ground, and then you realize that
Howard's coming. It's like, oh my God, you better hurry up.
But if Howard would have stayed a second longer, he would have seen the sign fall over. But I don't think even if Howard would have seen the sign fall over, he wouldn't have put anything together. That he would have thought it was put in wrong or something.
Yeah,
who the fuck put that in? Didn't whoever put that in screwed it up. He wouldn't care. I mean, would you? I mean, if the sign falls over, it's like, yeah, so what? I'm leaving. It's not my problem. I'm not the sign guy.
Exactly. It would not even phase him at all. He would just kept on going.
But still, I think that's just part of the comedy thing where, like, if it did, but if you don't want to think too much about it. You just think like, okay, whew, just in time. He pulled out just in time where he would have seen that sign fall, and who knows. Anyway, well, that ends it, right? That ends that segment. I mean, it's awesome. Right. It worked out. Everything, all the characters did a great job in that. And where do we go next after this, Jay? After the comedy fun, after the fun.
Yeah, and after the mark of Howard was in process, then we get into, I believe, the play of the almost, I would say, consider maybe the birth of Saul Goodman in a sense of the where he went to the office and where he went into his job where he has all his cases and everything, and went in there and just like a normal day had his suits and everything, and the people that buzz them in normally would just let all the lawyers in, but this was particular time for some reason, don't know what was, and Saul didn't know, Jimmy didn't know. He said, I need to check you, could you make sure you have all your stuff out?
He's at the courthouse. Oh my God.
At the courthouse.
Yeah. And when he first gets there, instead of just walking through the metal detector.
Yes, the metal detector. There you go.
Oh my God, they're giving him the business. The guy's giving him the business. Take off this, take off that, take off your shoes, get your fucking belt off, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
I mean, woo, dog.
I was surprised. Like, what the heck is going on? I mean, I've been here for years and I never had this treatment. And then he went over to the lady to try to get something changed for a time, and he had like a little toy and everything, and she was giving him the cold shoulder.
Oh, he's going along like you always would. They're buds, they know him, they joke around, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You work with people, and some people you're very friendly with because I mean they're your friends and you're used to them, and you can joke around with them, and they joke back or they think it's kind of cute. Like when you make your Bill Cosby face or whatever you do. And then that's very bad. I'm not Bill Cosby, but maybe your Will Smith your face or your George Clooney face, because I know how much you like him. And especially as Batman, you make your George Clooney Batman thing. And Halloween you wear your George Clooney uniform with the nipple. So Batman, yeah. So but anyway, but everybody's being cold to the man now.
Oh yeah, everybody.
She's just looking up at him and giving him the face. She's like, what you doing, boy? No, 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 we're not playing this game anymore.
Yep.
And then he's like wondering what's going on, and then
Yeah, he was like, "What going on?" It's like, "What the heck?" It's like she leaves, slides and closes and everything, and it's like,
yeah, she puts out that close sign, said, "I had enough of you, but I have enough of you." He's like, "What?" But you know, she just hands him the paper, just slaps it at him, puts up the close sign, walks away.
Exactly.
Oh my God! So what?
Yeah, but it was
so everybody. He doesn't know. He's like all confused.
No,
like,
very confused.
Yeah.
Yep. Very confused. He went to one of his lawyer friends that was at the what you call it, where to buy
vending
like
machine.
potato chips.
Yeah, the vending machine that wasn't
vending machine.
out.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's like, you have to treat it with love, and you know.
Yeah, like.
And he gets the package and hands it to him, and he's like, just walks off. Doesn't say thank
walks
you.
Off.
Doesn't do anything. Just walks away.
Exactly.
And this is further confusing to Jimmy or Saul, the Jimmy Saul guy. Yeah. He's like, what the hell? What?
Yeah.
Because everybody is giving him the cold shoulder.
Yep. Then he walks out in the little stairway with him and asks him just straight off, it's like, dude, what the heck? Why am I getting like someone poops on my head or something? What's going on? Why are people doing this to me? And then he spills the beans to him and saying that you're actually, we know that you're working with the cartel and you're a business lawyer working with the cartel. And then Saul was playing dumbfounded. It's like, you got to prove it. You got to prove it. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. And he was like, the other lawyer was just kind of gave him to say, hey, I mean, you don't need to tell me, but we know.
Well, everybody knows. Well, everybody knows what he pulled off with getting Lalo out of, bail, making him a different character, bringing in the fake family. That is now exposed.
Exactly.
Not only did he
a murder, he actually got a murder free
cartel. He used false pretenses to get his client bail or whatever, whatever.
Yeah, bail. Yeah,
out of so he can get out of prison. Giving him like, well, he's got a family. He's going to stay. He doesn't have anything to do in Mexico. He won't be leaving anywhere. But so that's all out of the bag now because the police officers probably everything, So that's why he's getting the court order because now they know that he's not being completely honest and he's not you know what I mean. Even though you might make
he had a little here and there
stuff. Jokes you want, but you still hope that they have some kind of integrity. They might pull off. Not all of them do. I know we all make lawyer jokes and they're all this, that, and the other. But still, you would think that they wouldn't pull off. I mean, anyway, some lawyers have sometimes will follow protocol and proper protocol in a court, not try to, do this thing, Anyway, this lawyer had some morals and said you can't do this. They found the one lawyer that thought this wasn't a good idea.
Exactly.
I mean, the rest of the people you can see saying, "Well, what the hell?" I mean, because they're regular Joes. But here's a lawyer that actually says, Jimmy, you went too far this time.
Exactly. That's what he told him. He told him that.
So the cat's out of the bag. So lawyer, whatever you want to say, whatever you want. This lawyer. So Jimmy now has a worse reputation as a lawyer. Not only does he have, but being a lawyer, might have. But anyway, everybody's shitting on his head like he was talking, like you said. Everybody's pooping on his head because of this.
Right, exactly.
That's why he's got poop running down his face and everything else. So there it is, dude. I mean, come on, they know. They effing know now, Jay, and this is. Now he's got the consequences of people not liking him, and it's going to make it very uncomfortable now for him to walk into that courtroom for who knows how long. Well, probably for the rest of his career, all the way into But anyway, it's the die is cast that he is not up and up.
Exactly. Yep. It portrays it like I mentioned before, it's kind of the birth of his character starting off from the character we've seen in Breaking Bad, in the perspective of him dealing with that type of lawyer. One great thing about this show is that we got a different perspective of Jimmy prior to this and his perspective. He was still a kind of a schemer and everything like that, and how he became a lawyer and everything, but he was really not into that. He was more into the older folks and other perspective of being a lawyer, that perspective, but he was not really in play with this type of cartel, even though he just got himself in it, like sucked in a couple of times with Nacho and other characters in the past that popped up. And it was not really, I don't even think it was not really his perspective or plan to be this type of lawyer. It just, sadly to say, it just happened to him because he was at sometime at the wrong place at the wrong time with Nacho and Crazy Aid and all these other characters that we mentioned before that caused him to be this way.
Yeah. And you know, it always goes. You know, you always hear the term of you always have choices, and you do, but you know, the other choice if Saul did would kill him. So I mean, you might say we always have choices. Well, do I go with the cartel or do I get shot in the head? So I mean, you know, and plus, you know, not only him, he has to protect Kimmy. I mean, you know how these guys, these people. Oh, I don't know if you. Anyway, from what we see on TV, they just don't kill the guy; they go after everybody. So, I mean, I haven't had any dealings with the cartel, and I don't want to, so I can't tell you. I don't have firsthand experience on how they actually deal with things. I only have Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
To have my those are perspective. Yeah, that's all for me.
And a few TV shows here and there. You know, that's my only you know, cartel knowledge that I have. And so, you know, I hope they don't get mad at me for, you know, for being a stereotype and come after me for that either. So
no, not either.
Unless you want to give me a big bag of money to change my stereotype, that's fine.
Right.
So maybe not even then. But you gotta understand, he also went down to be the bag man in Mexico. So I mean, he's really and he took their money. So I mean, you know, it's not. So you know,
he did. Yeah, he has it. That's true. I forgot about that.
So he is in pretty deep. You know, I mean. Once he took that money, that, you know, he was in, you know. So right now, how he's being treated, it doesn't matter. Even if he did not take the money, he created this situation that he's in.
Exactly.
So think about this. I mean, it's interesting that they're treating him this way, but you know, we haven't seen anything yet. But how are judges going to see him now if he walks in knowing that he played another judge?
It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty.
If they find out, well, man, you already played another judge. These judges are just going to give him shit. So, in essence, this should be a career ender because he's not going to get any fair shit from a judge. Judges are going to treat him like shit, and maybe they did after this. But you know, it seemed like.
But it's all still hearsay. That's the thing about it. It's like all hearsay.
But still, they know. I mean, it might be hearsay, but you know when a rumor is true or not, or parts of it. I mean, it doesn't matter. The rumor mill, you know what's sometimes if your BS meter goes off, and sometimes, okay, part of it maybe, but you don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And anyway, it doesn't matter, even if it's in the back, even if it's, but rumors, you know, well, rumors always make it anyway. Everybody believes rumors sometimes. I mean, conspiracy theorists and all this shit. And it doesn't matter. These judges, people are going to. It doesn't matter if it's hearsay or rumor. They're going to believe it or think it's going to be partially true. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, you've seen this thing play out in other situations, or maybe it happened. I mean, it's happened to me a couple. You know, when growing up, you know, the rumor gets out, and no matter what you say, they're going to believe it, even though it's not true. And there's just nothing you can do about it for some people. All you got to do is think, okay, fuck you. You know, if you're going to believe that, then hell with you. You know, but. I mean, I know it's happened to me growing up. You know, things happen. And
I feel you on that. I'm the same way too. I know exactly what you mean.
People start shit just to start shit. You know, people that don't, you know, they don't like you, and they they try to put blame on you and try, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. But you know, we've been around long enough, seeing this shit happen to us, or you know, yourself and me and other people. We've seen this happen, play out. It's the oldest game it's been going on since Adam and Eve. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure they I'm sure they were still trying to figure out who ate the apple. I'm sure that, Adam will say, "No, I think you ate the apple. Didn't you eat the apple?"
I know.
Yeah, I mean, because remember, Adam was trying to, probably telling God, "I know it wasn't me. It was, yeah, had to have been her. She's doing, no, not me, But they, God, but it doesn't matter. It's just that that's the oldest game in the world, and it's been used to bring people down and up, and it's even, both ways, but still. So anyway, the word's out. Everyone's mad at Jimmy. Jimmy's lost a lot of points. He's not the goal. He's not the comedy clown lawyer that I can be half decent. He's done. His reputation has been further tarnished. And now, so that's it. I mean, so then we move on after the staircase. And where do we head off to now, Jay?
I believe I need to, my notes is kind of empty after this part, but hopefully you can help me out. But I believe what happens is that we find that still, again, Saul, his character, is become very, very popular from the perspective of being other people and calling him.
Well, maybe not. Maybe you're right. So is he in the restaurant again now? Maybe do we go to the restaurant then where he's actually just trying to wait for phone calls? I mean, he's not.
I believe.
I keep thinking of other Kimmy or is that later on the Kimmy and?
That's what I'm thinking with the location
that night because Kimmy tells him about I actually got a business opportunity from Clifford and I think he talks about I think that's what happens then because
and I think he tells her about all the stuff that happened to him.
Take their notes from the day. She gets this business opportunity. He tells her that he's got pooped on his head, and I think that or was it after the phone call? The phone started ringing in the restaurant, and he was doing all these over. Okay, what's your name? And he's doing all these appointments, a few of them, and we see that his phone is ringing. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
For the first time ever.
So many people. Yep, so many different clients.
So he's writing down. And I think you're right. Okay, maybe that's later on when they compare notes. Who knows? But doesn't matter. He takes these notes. Then I think after that, we see him pulling up to the salon where he has his office in the back. Right? And then he comes out and there's a couple people outside and the owner comes out and says, get rid of these people. Get rid of these people. And he's going, who are these three people? And she goes, no, the people inside.
Inside.
So he walks in and it's full house inside the salon. I mean, they're not her clients getting
no. Pedicure. Some are getting some, but they were still his clients.
But they're outweighed by the people waiting for the Saul man.
Exactly.
That's funny because there's I think there's like 2 or 3 customers getting a pedicure, and the rest are just standing around waiting for the Goodman Goodman to walk in because this is not Jimmy anymore because these are clients coming in to see the Saul Goodman man. I mean, this is
exactly. Yep.
I think this is where Jimmy kind of leaves.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as a lawyer, it's not Jimmy anymore. This is where Saul comes in. So he's surprised, and he's trying to figure out, okay, who, and people confront him saying, are you the one that works for are you the cartel lawyer?
Right, exactly. Cartel lawyer, yeah, exactly.
Because he just got his ass, he's just got the cold shoulder for being the cartel lawyer. But now people are coming to see him because he is the cartel lawyer.
Yep.
They know him now. He's the cartel lawyer. He can
get people off.
He can get people off. So now 2 sets of rumors, one hurts him and one is now helping him get clients.
Yep.
So It's kind of a transition from, okay, I'm going to be the pariah of the courtroom, but now I'm going to be the man making money off of other criminals. That's my, whatever. I mean, it's transition from Jimmy, the pariah, to Goodman, the cartel lawyer. I think.
Exactly.
Do you think that too, Jay? Do you think that's
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
100%. He's trying to figure out who to see next, and he's like, because there's some people out there that didn't call him; they just showed up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Not like the 8 people or the 4 people that called him at the restaurant. there are people that are just walk-in clients, as walk-ins. That's
Mm-hmm.
what got her. That's why she's kind of mad, because her business is full, but not with her clients. So he
There's
makes
all these other folks. It's like, what
yeah.
the heck?
So
All
the
these
ones that
people.
called him, he calls off their names, and the rest he has waited outside. And then you see him outside handing out these numbers, like when you walk into like the DMV or somewhere, and they say take a
Mm-hmm.
number, and you're like number 400, and they're up to number 70. So
Right.
you're like, okay, I'm going to be here all day. Because when you go there, you're going to be there all day, so you'll bring a lunch and all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff, and watch your phone for hours, or make your phones charged, or you can find an outlet so you can sit there for however long. But anyway, you're so this
Exactly.
is it.
Yep.
So he comes in, and this is interesting. I mean, because when he comes back and starts calling off names, we finally, this is the first appearance of a character that we saw in Breaking Bad. And do you know who that was?
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about. That
Talking
he.
about we're talking about Spooge.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought that was
But,
I thought that was
yeah.
awesome. I thought that was excellent. I mean, yeah, he wasn't.
He looked clean. He looked clean.
It looked like he was before he got that. Yeah, he was high and got the ATM shoved on his head and met that other one.
Exactly.
This is probably before he met that his other meth woman, or wife or whatever. But
Yep.
or maybe it's before they both got hooked. Who knows? But anyway,
Who knows? Yeah.
but he's clean. Yeah, you're right. He's all cleaned up. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to recognize him.
Nope.
I mean, you might be able to tell by his voice, but who Spook, whatever, because Jimmy's trying to pronounce his name, but I'm Spooge. Like, yeah, Spooge, the man.
Yep.
I mean, I mean, once again, a character actor. He was only in maybe one episode, and that's but
Mm-hmm.
still, you know who the fuck he is because of how he acted and getting the ATM. Well, if you're gonna get your head squashed by an ATM, you're gonna remember that character for a long time, aren't
A
you?
long time. Yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely. But
this is another cleaned up character, Spooge, and
mm-hmm.
it was good to see them bring him back. It's interesting.
Yes,
To
it was.
it's interesting to get these characters before like. I guess they would call them Easter eggs, but I'm just going to say their appearances. Have these character actors come in for maybe their final hurrah or for their final appearance, because there's probably not going to be another spinoff of a Breaking Bad series. I mean,
No. It'll be a really big surprise if they would. I mean, I don't know what angle they would do.
But anyway, he Spooge is back. Spooge is there for a little bit. We don't. That's it. We just see him there, and that's all we need. I mean, all we need to do.
You're the man.
All we got to do is hear the name and see the character, and we know.
Exactly.
So, so they're there. Doesn't matter. And that's when it ends, and that's when we go to Kimmy and Jimmy because he tells Kimmy, look, well, she kicked me out. Or we see him getting kicked out because she don't want to put up with all these people. So I mean,
right, exactly at that salon.
So he gets
massage place.
Yeah, massage place or salon, but the pedicure place or whatever.
Pedicure.
I don't think it's a massage place. That's just whatever.
No, that's true.
Anyway, it's a place that later on we'll see Jimmy try to sell to Jesse and to pay his taxes and on their money because Jesse doesn't get it. For some reason, Jesse doesn't get how to stay out of how to honor his money and stay out of and whatever. It doesn't matter. He doesn't understand the concept.
No,
matter. That's Breaking Bad, and it's kind of a funny exchange because he don't want to understand it. Like, what criminal pays taxes? Well, the ones that want to stay out of jail.
Right, exactly. You got to do it this way.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. I guess I didn't. Yeah, I guess I just put that together too. I mean, I didn't put. I mean, it's the first time I said it on the show that this does come into play too. This salon that. But anyway, she kicks him out.
Mm-hmm.
Or. I don't know. I don't know.
I know there was. I'm
trying to figure out the thing. Does he get the compare notes, or does Kimmy meet him later and he talks about his future office? I can't remember the
angle of it. Yeah,
how this comes in because I mean, they do. I know they compare notes because Kimmy does tell him that hey, I got this opportunity from Clifford while you're doing your thing with Howard. I'm actually conducting business without even knowing it.
Right.
And exactly. I think that's the way it works out because she's like, hey, he offered me this opportunity. Clifford offered me an opportunity while I'm trying to distract him enough while you come and throw out the hooker and But I'm actually making a business thing and making money.
Exactly.
So it's like it's probably that's why she's conflicted. Wait a minute, I'm actually doing some business, but all I'm here to do is watch you throw Howard or whatever, the fake Howard, throw the hooker out, but yet I've just got a business opportunity to make some money and not just a little change. I mean, this
right
is
for her life. Yes, for her life, her career.
For her life. Because she brings it up. Oh yeah. And Clifford's like playing along, like, yeah, I know people. We can get this done. He's like, I think that was most of the surprise, not just the story about her son, but like, wait a minute, it's one of those separate deputy things or whatever, how you pronounce the word, where, I'm just here to distract you, but now we're going to make thousands of dollars. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
I think that's it. They do compare notes, and he's talking about things going on on that day. And then I don't know what happened, but I don't know how we get from there. And then then he shows his future office where, like, and she's like, it's just what it is,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but try to see my notes. I mean,
isn't that part of the gist or the ending of it when he shows where they do that? And let's just go to where he's showing off his future office. We're going to know what the office is going to have in Breaking Bad.
Right, that's his office.
It's just an empty space. And
with the toilet.
Well, yeah, okay, that's it, because she shows up, she drives up, so maybe this is just where we go from here, because she shows up and she's like, well, what are you showing me? Well, this is going to be my office. And she's looking at it and she's going, well, it's kind of small. I mean, compared to working at Howard's place, where,
Right, yeah.
this isn't a 2-story or a 7-story building filled with lawyers, but there is a toilet in the middle of the floor. I mean, because that's just, but anyway. And she's looking, look, this is going to my office. It's not fixed up yet. And she's going, well, he's like asking him, well, what do you think? And she's
right, what do you think? Yeah.
And like you said later on, she goes, well, keep the toilet where it is, as a joke or whatever. Well, just keep the toilet. I mean, it's just sitting there in the floor. That's kind of funny. Well, just keep the toilet where it is. That's it. And she's like, and then that's what they're talking about. That's when we first see his office. I think it's right beside the salon too, isn't it? Or in the same mall or whatever.
Yeah, same complex. Yeah, it's like on a corner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she says, well, it's close to
Taco the Vega or something like that, or some type of restaurant.
It's only but anyway, you have Taco Cabeza, and it's like only a block or so from the courthouse too. I mean, it's like a 4 block. It's not far from the courthouse, so he's close to two things. And the show ends with them going, well, let's go get some Taco Cabeza, because I guess they're both hungry. So they shows them walking down the sidewalk toward Taco Cabeza. Fade out. The episode's over.
Yes, that's it.
So this episode, well, to me, is that, like I said, we see Jimmy go from Jimmy Saul to Goodman, and we see a nice little cameo from Spooge, and
Wendy,
and then we also see the beginning of when he bought his office that we will get familiar with later on with Breaking Bad. So we're seeing all these things starting to come together in season 6 as Saul. We're finally seeing Saul Goodman build up. This character starting to get built up.
Exactly.
I mean, it's taken us 6 seasons to get here. To get where we're at. I mean, now he's actually starting to come in his own.
Yes.
And I think what happens here too is that once he finds out that he's going to get clients because of his cartel, whatever the rumor is, he's just going to embrace it now. Well, no, screw this. People are going to come in and give me money. That's going to afford me to get a living finally, because he's been struggling for how long to be a lawyer that makes money.
Exactly. Yep. And he's really struggling. I mean, he has so many different opportunities and chances.
Remember, he's working out of the closet.
Right. In the back.
At the pedicure place. He calls it his satellite office, which I thought was funny. Oh, this is my satellite office while my real office gets whatever. But yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, been drinking the cucumber water.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on? I mean, how do you feel about this episode, G? I mean, there really wasn't a lot. I mean, we didn't see. I mean, this was just character development for Kimmy and Saul. I think it doesn't. Things do happen to but still, what do you think, G? I mean, I thought it was an excellent episode.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. The episode definitely continues its transition of what's going to happen further with these characters and kind of get an idea of different perspective of things. And I did like the starting of the episode of showing us kind of idea about Gus and his fortress. It's almost like you can say almost like a fortress of solitude. So he has like one house and everything.
We missed the part when we see how he gets from one place to another. We missed it. We just skipped a whole mess thing here where we see his fortress of solitude, but then we find out that he's got some stuff going on underground of his house.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh. We completely skipped why we saw the door under surveillance. Oh my gosh. This is another important thing. This is another Gus.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm glad I mentioned just off of just talking.
My brain when you said Fortress of Solitude. Oh yeah, wait a minute. We just forgot that he has to go in one place to get to another place underground.
Underground, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
that's true.
Hey, that was one of the most another important feature of this episode. Because then we find out why we have all this surveillance and what it's for and what because we find out that Gus goes into one place. This is how he gets to us. I don't know how he does it. He goes into one house or another, then he goes underground.
I think the house that we saw with the two women, I think he goes into that house because I think he opened up like a drawer that looks like a food tray something, and he pushed it out.
Yeah, he walks in like he owns the place. Even though these two women walked there, he walks in. I think he looks around, asks some questions, and then we see him go through all this, pushing out bookcases like he's in Wayne Manor, trying to get to the Bat Cave is what we're looking at here.
Right.
He's like he's Batman now, so he pulls out. We see him go downstairs. He walks through the tunnel.
Puts a combination in.
Yeah. This is with the doors that. Like a panic room door, and he's just going. It's like, this dude is not taking whatever's going on. He's not taking any chances right now.
Yep. He doesn't want nothing with Lalo at all. He just keep himself kind of busy.
So he goes into that safe house to find out that he's safe in his own house.
Yeah, exactly.
And they tell him, you don't have nothing. You haven't seen nothing. You don't. So then that's when he goes across. He goes under the street, probably, which is, you keep thinking, okay, what does it take to build a tunnel under a street between two houses? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a major undertaking besides building a big laboratory underneath a washing, a dry cleaning place, too. This dude, Gus likes his underground stuff, I guess.
Yes, he does.
I guess it's a metaphor that he is underground, right? I mean, he is kind of. But anyway, he does. We see him walking with lights in the back tunnel.
Yep.
And then he walks.
Love the music in the background. The music was.
Yeah.
The score of the music was very cool too.
Yeah. Oh my! I can't believe I completely forgot about this important aspect. This. Yeah, myself too. This ties into what you called the Coldplay. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Jay. I don't know why.
I'm the same way too, bro. I mean,
we were so excited about Saul Goodman and that we forgot about what we were.
With Gus and Lalo.
So in the Coldplay, I mean, why were they watching this house? Now we know the whole purpose. They're waiting for Lalo or someone to show. He's waiting for Lalo to show up and shoot him. So
yeah, exactly.
So he's got. So this is also a big crew that he has. And so he walks underground, has to go through some doors, goes underground. pulls out another bookcase and walks into his, I said, probably basement or whatever, and puts it back. And I think he
talks with Mike, I think, too.
He talks to Mike. But the thing is, the thing he talks about the fry cook that Mike hired.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, how good is this fry? You know, talking about the fry cook. Well, he worked at McDonald's, and he goes,
right. Yeah. He goes, that's when they're not here to cook.
He's talking about, he walks in after we watch all this, like, shenanigans getting through, like that Maxwell Smart trying to get to headquarters through all the doors and everything else. I don't know if you watch Get Smart or not, but it doesn't matter.
I do.
The TV series, but you know, he pulls up.
Classic.
But he gets there. But instead of just talking business, like about Layla, the first question is, where do you get this fry cook?
Yeah.
Which is Gus, because Gus is his main concern is
I want to keep that image, I guess, the image of him being I guess a guy that owns a chicken place. I mean,
yeah,
he just wants to keep that image in play.
Well, it's not the image. That's what's important to him.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
I think you know, I think that's his first thing, and the other thing is second, because of him and when his partner got killed or boyfriend got killed. We saw in Breaking Bad. Is that they both were, that's what they wanted to do. Remember, that was and plus make the meth. I mean, but he wanted to cook the chicken.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was his objective. Yeah.
Yeah. They do both, but you know,
meth and cook.
But he doesn't want the quality to fall off either, because then he'll start losing customers. So, but we see how particular how OCD this guy is anyway when it comes to
gosh, yeah, we're gonna see that a lot more in the episodes coming up. Yeah.
So but you know, first thing is that well, I guess he kind of spoke about Layla when security when he was in the safe house before he got to his other safe pretty safe at his house. But the first thing he says to Mike was, where do you get this fry cook? Well, one of my guys, he did 6 years at McDonald's or whatever, and he's like, okay, I'll get rid of him. I'll replace him. So, that's taken care of. And then I think he goes upstairs to his house finally. I don't know. But that was what we see. We see the whole thing he goes through just to make sure that he's safe from any threat. That's not Layla, but probably any threat from the cartel or anybody else. And probably, to make sure that, probably just to make sure he's safe from any kind of feds snooping around either. This is probably not just, and I wonder if this might still be in play when in Breaking Bad.
It is. I think it is.
Because it's interesting.
There was a scene in there.
It's interesting that it just seems like, remember when Walt was trying to walk to his house.
Exactly. That's the part I'm thinking about.
Mike pulls up and says, I don't think you want to do this, because.
Right. Go home.
Yeah. So either Mike, because remember, Mike's everywhere. So Mike has to have people all over telling him, look, this is happening right now. And then Mike probably goes and takes care of it. That was Mike's job. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This is when we see, this man, Gus, what he goes through trying to protect, that probably, the part of this not paranoia, but the safeguard that he takes to protect himself and make sure that his product is good. It shows us two things: what he's going through to protect his meth business, and also his concerns for the chicken house, for his chicken restaurant. Because this is just one franchise, the one fry cook, but that minor detail is bothersome. Look, this guy sucks. He can't fry my chicken. You might be able to do McDonald's French fries.
Right, and protect him and maybe kill a person that comes in. That's not important to him. You got to be a good cook.
Yeah, look, I need someone that's not going to drive, I have a product that I'm proud of. Remember him, and he spent, that's what he wants. That's part of his thing. The other guy cooked the meth. His boyfriend cooked the meth, and he cooked the chicken.
Exactly.
Gus is not a meth cook. He has we find out that he has to go out and find people that will play ball with him, like we found out with later on in Breaking Bad when he finally found the other guy that he found. That he makes a foundation so he can weed out and find people that might be able to cook his meth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's
he does
what
it
he
very
did.
smartly. He does it. You know, I have a scholarship program, and it's for chemists, and then he weeds them out and sees if anybody's interested to come on board and cook a product. Like, you just can't flat out ask somebody.
No, it's like, all right, can you cook, man?
Yeah, here's your foundation. Here's your scholarship or whatever. By the way, learn to cook meth so I can hire you
Right.
later on. There's a condition, you know. So yeah. So anyway, and this is probably just before what's his name? The chemist that comes on board before he orders all this stuff. I can't remember his name from Breaking Bad. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Oh, the one with the famous book, Betty,
Yeah.
that Walter with the WW. God, I
Yeah,
can't remember his
yeah,
name.
because Walt Whitman. Yeah, he had that, and plus
Mhm.
but I think it starts with a D, but I can't remember what the name is. But
Yeah, but it's on my tip
it
of my
doesn't
tongue
matter.
too.
He has some quirks too, but anyway, this is probably just before he comes on board and starts setting up the lab, because remember the lab's right now getting built. You know, it's
Yeah,
just
it's still
yeah.
processing. Lalo is trying to find out some stuff, which we'll
Oh
find
yeah,
out.
we'll figure that
We'll
out.
find out
But yeah.
sooner.
So anyway, this is it, dude. I mean, anyway, we see what he goes. I don't think there's anything after the mic interaction, is there? I think we cut
I don't
away
think so. Yeah.
because that just tells us everything that we need to know to why there was the Coldplay. And then later on in the episode, it shows, well, this is what this is all set up to do.
Right.
Watch his front
Exactly.
door, and there's probably people out back watching his back door. So I mean, it's like, but it's interesting that they're set up in a house, and I guess that's the best way to do it. You can't just have people sitting in a car, that or a van,
Yeah.
like they show in the when that's how police surveillance do it. They show up in a van marked flowers and
Yeah.
have a camera sticking out somewhere. Ah, there he is. Let's go get him. But you know,
Right.
anyway, this is a very, and he plays it down because the people in the house are probably people he's paying to act.
Yeah. Yep. That's one
We
thing
don't know
too.
if this is a real couple or not. They just could be just, you know,
Just two actors that
or
said, okay, that want to pay. I'll get paid to play these roles, just like
remember,
all the people in the garden.
House from his house. It's not. It has to be. It has to be across the way and strategically. So, chances are, he bought this house, and then made it into this. And you have to have these actors coming in and out, so no one, it's not suspicious. If someone ever comes out, so
you'll have someone available.
Yeah, these older couple come out that seem to belong in the neighborhood. They do their walk probably every day or so just to sell it up, and they go and get their groceries. They play house while they're doing the surveillance, and that is very meticulous. I mean, maybe it does go on. I don't know, but this is Gus. He buys a house across the street, probably fills it up with a couple while they're doing surveillance, sells it. No one can. So it's interesting how, and this isn't cheap. None of this is cheap for Gus. He's digging he's digging a hole in the ground, or he dug a hole in the ground, going to build this multi-million-dollar lab. Plus, he has a home across the street, paying all these people just to keep him safe.
And he owns a chicken place.
Yeah, and you gotta start wondering, is it all worth it?
Right.
Why not just run the chicken place, make your money that way, and forget about the meth and paying all these people? Right. But I guess in a way, it's probably a homage to his boyfriend. I mean, they wanted to do both anyway, but he wanted to do chicken and the meth, but he was the chicken man and he was the meth man. So
right.
Because after his boyfriend was killed, and how tragic that was, he still could have just done. I guess we're just going to do chicken. I'm just going to do chicken now. Mm-hmm. Because it looks like he has a very successful franchise in the Southwest.
Mm-hmm. It was big.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep,
it was
very successful. I mean, he could have just done that and not worry about the meth, but I think that's what maybe that's what he wanted to do too. Do both. I'll do chicken and then I'll do the meth thing, and then we'll both be making lots and lots of money. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's going through a major expense to do this, and
yes,
I guess it's an investment, because I guess I didn't know there was that much money in meth, but I guess if you do it right,
it can be a big business.
I guess if you mass produce it,
that's the thing.
I mean, if you are the producer and you're the main you're one of the main factories in the Southwest, and you're able to cook a high product. Even the other chemist could do it, and
That's
so
true.
that would make them top no matter what they did. Because what they were selling to the cartel in Breaking Bad was, look, this is high quality. It's not just biker meth. This is high
Yeah,
quality.
it was big time. Yeah.
This isn't made with these cheap chemicals that they do. This is
No.
this is a chemically pure product, as
almost 100%.
Like Walter would say. This wasn't 100% because that's Walter.
Close to it, right? It was close to like 92.
It was still in the 90s. Yeah, it was still higher than what you get from biker meth, as he would say. You want to sell the
right?
Biker meth. No,
right.
This isn't biker meth.
No,
this is high octane. So at the time, but anyway, it matters. It was high octane, and so it's interesting that we see all this, and now we know that. And it's all gusto. I mean, he doesn't take any precautions.
No, he was very meticulous on everything he did when it comes to all the stuff that he needs to, and also revenge too. I mean, he had revenge on things that happened to him and to his people that he knew. So, I mean, he had a lot of stuff on his mind.
Well, he
still do.
He knows that Hector and Lalo are still after him. They don't trust him.
Don't trust him at all.
Kind of. I mean, it's really weird that the one guy kind of like he does trust Gus. Oh, he's not doing nothing. He's gonna, he's fine. But Lalo and nah, he's up to something. He's doing something. And it's kind of weird that he thinks at this time that building this lab is bad for the cartel. I don't know if he's thinking that it's gonna. Because I mean, as far as we know, at that time the cartel didn't have any interest in meth. So I mean,
it was all cocaine. Yeah, it was coke.
Yeah, it was all cocaine. So I don't know unless meth kind of competes with cocaine. I don't know, but I'm just thinking that for some reason Lalo thinks he's up to something, wants to know what it is, and Gus is out to protect his lab. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. You know what I mean? I do.
I mean, I wonder too. I mean, what was the perspective of Lalo with all this? It could have been successful. I mean,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Gus was trying. I guess maybe Gus didn't want to share the profit. Maybe that was it too. I'm going to make this lab and I'm going to sell it, but no one's going to know it's me. I mean, they do find out that it's him eventually, but
yeah. But possibly he wanted to be the man. I guess he wanted to be the man compared to the man that there.
You got to remember the cartel wasn't that enthusiastic about meth cooking anyway. They would have stopped him. No, don't do that. We don't want to. But this is all Gus's money. I mean, Gus is paying for this stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess at this time we're to believe that he's protecting the lab and what he's doing from the cartel because he's afraid they might shut him down.
Yeah.
Or even kill him about it too. I've seen because how paranoid he is. Not from Lalo. Well, Lalo wants to kill him, so that's why.
No matter what, yeah.
Yeah, Lalo is after him. Yeah. Well, especially now they tried to kill Lalo. I mean, went down and wiped out.
His whole family.
His family and stuff. Now it's personal. So I mean, you know what that means.
Exactly.
So now he has to be really sweating bullets because he knows he's alive, and some people don't believe that Lalo's alive, but he's like
right. Just one person.
He was able to get the feel from Hector. So there's Hector over at your house again. Hector's coming to your house. He's a common visitor over there at your house.
I know, man.
I hope you got plenty of cleaning supplies when he shits on your shirt.
You better be careful.
Yeah, you don't want. If you start sitting up, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to get a bucket under that chair really fast. So anyway, I think that's how the episode goes. I mean, now that we remembered one of the key segments too, and like we said, I mean, everything means something. It does. There's nothing wasted in this.
Nope.
Even with Kimmy sitting with Clifford, she gets a business opportunity. I mean, it's not like she just sat there and all of a sudden she got done with the coffee and left, but she got an opportunity that she did not expect. So that plays out to something else. I mean, that another tree to the plot. Oh, my arm disappeared. I'm armless now. Oh my gosh, where did it go? Actually, I'm David Copperfield. Here it is. See?
I know. Where's your hand?
Yeah, where's my hand? That's what the girls always ask me. You know where it is. You know where it is. But anyway, yeah, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, yep, I can't wait for the next episode.
Me too. I can't wait to rewatch it.
Now that we're kind of back on track again, I mean,
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It seems like even though we took a little break, we're still on top of it, and that's all that matters.
Yes, definitely looking forward to next week and try to continue the role of this, and hopefully, maybe down the line we'll be talking about the process of Breaking Bad and going through seasons. That's going to be an adventure. So really, really looking forward to that.
That's going to be a long adventure.
Very long, but worth it.
Since we're going to do the whole series, not just the last episode. I mean, last season. We're going to do 1 through 5.
Yeah. So it's going to be.
Luckily, there are only like 8 or 10 in some of those. So, but still, when you're going to, it doesn't matter how many. It's 5. That's 5 seasons, and
5 seasons.
And we're doing that weekly.
Ooh,
it's going to be a commitment, my friend. A fun commitment.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
Yep,
and I hope we do get 1 or 2 people that are watching it for the first time that are virgins.
Me too. It will help a lot with the show.
And how they perceive it, because we watched it a few times, so we already know, and we already have really our own preconceptions, like saying, "Oh yeah, we know what happened here, and we got this." But it's fun to listen to fresh view, like,
yes,
okay, I didn't think of that, or that's, or I'm glad you're excited, and hopefully they like it.
Me too.
I mean, if they're virgins, they actually like it. I mean,
yeah, that's what I hope so too.
You might have to push them through the first season a little bit. It depends. It depends how they feel about it. But yeah.
Right.
Anyway, that's it. I think we covered this episode really greatly. I don't even know if that's correct. That didn't sound right. I'm going to say really well.
There you go.
Greater. We feel that really greater. We were greater at doing this. This was the greater thing that we've ever done. Or it's gooder.
Gooder. Oh, gooder. Yeah. Gooder.
We did this gooder than anybody else. No one can do this as gooder this than us.
No, exactly.
Yep. This is the gooder review of Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Yeah, I might have worn that out. Well, I'd like to thank anybody that was along for the ride this time. We're going to join.
Hope so too.
That you enjoyed yourself. Next up is episode 5, Black and Blue.
Black and Blue. Yep.
And Black and Blue. This was Hit and Run. The next one's Black and Blue. So they all have. It seems like there's a big theme between these two. Whoa, they're giving you a little clue there. Whoa.
Uh-oh. Watch out now.
Like this is going to be Rocky 9. So who knows?
Never know.
another Rocky spin-off. Another Rocky. Yeah. Nope. I'm going to tell you right now. No, we're not going to see Sylvester Stallone next week. But we may see some kind of, it's called Black and Blue for a reason, just like it was called Hit and Run this time. Anyway, what are any last words, Jay, before we get out of here?
Just like what you said, Richard, I'm just honored and privileged to share watching Better Call Saul, and thank you for everyone that's will be watching now or watching in the future. Just thank you. And please share. Let everyone know that we're here every Sunday around this time, and let them know that we're here to talk about Better Call Saul.
Like you said,
it's fun.
Like, subscribe, and ring that Hector bell.
I got a bell too.
So you can be notified. So Hector can notify you.
Yeah, there you go.
So you know what happens if you don't come on.
Watch out, Hector
will come
exactly.
Sit on your floor, and you don't.
That's right.
You don't.
No, we don't.
You don't want Hector sitting on your floor. It's all runny and gooey. Like anyway, we're done here, fellas.
With the bell.
Everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.
Yes, bye guys.
Season 6 review.
Bye bye.